Mr. Feige, great to see you. Have you called me down here to praise the Fantastic Four? Actually, Pedro, I called you down here to see why you keep groping women. I suffer from anxiety and must touch their boobs and butts because of it. I'm very brave.
Welcome back, Sashers. If you're a true Marvel fan or just love Hollywood drama, make sure to smash that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss the hottest, juiciest insider stories from Tinseltown. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most explosive and talked about Hollywood scandals of the year, the rise and dramatic fall of Marvel's Fantastic Four reboot, and the man at the eye of the storm, Pedro Pascal. Hollywood loves its golden boys, and Pedro Pascal was supposed to be just that, the shining star to carry Marvel's next big gamble. But what happens when the golden boy becomes a lightning rod of controversy? Lately, you might have seen it everywhere on social media: Pedro Pascal fatigue. It's a term that's more than just a passing joke. It has become a full-blown sentiment, threatening to unravel Marvel's most anticipated comeback project, the Fantastic Four. Once hailed as the perfect cast, this project quickly turned into a Hollywood nightmare. Let's rewind to the beginning. After a string of Marvel misfires and a growing superhero fatigue, the studio desperately needed a home run. And the Fantastic Four looked like that perfect shot, with Vanessa Kirby fresh from an Oscar nomination cast as Sue Storm, Joseph Quinn bringing his breakout energy as Johnny Storm, and Eben Moss-Bachrach stepping in as Ben Grimm. The stage was set. Then came the big get, Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, the internet's golden boy who was expected to carry the entire McCuss next chapter on his broad shoulders. But behind the glitz and glam, the production was already cracking. According to insiders, the problem wasn't costumes or script changes. It was about control. How much control one actor wanted over the whole film. And that actor was none other than Pedro Pascal. The drama culminated at the final script table read. What should have been a celebration turned into a battlefield. Pascal arrived armed with pages of handwritten rewrites, changes to dialogue, scene restructuring, and new character moments no one had approved. Reportedly, he even started performing these changes out loud in front of the entire cast and crew. Suddenly, what was meant to be a team-driven story shifted into what insiders called the Pedro Pascal Show, a one-man play focused on Reed Richards' internal struggles. Director Matt Shakman tried to keep things on track, but Pascal pushed back, openly challenging notes and even interrupting fellow actors. Then came the infamous line that reportedly ended everything. "If this is just going to be another cookie cutter Marvel flick, then I'm wasting my time." Silence followed. The room's atmosphere turned toxic, and by the end, the entire cast quietly walked out, signaling their refusal to continue. This scandalous breakdown didn't just stay behind closed doors. Press tours turned awkward. Interviews were dominated by Pascal's deep, emotional takes, and red carpet photos sparked debates about personal boundaries. Marvel's Prander team scrambled to contain the fallout, but the cracks were already too visible. And just when it seemed it couldn't get worse, a private Zoom call meant to salvage the project instead delivered a 20-minute monologue from Pascal about his vision, silencing other cast members and collapsing the meeting. The original cast was out, and Marvel went into full damage control mode with a secret Project Galileo, aiming to stall, recast, and sideline Pascal without public fallout. Fans, however, were outraged. Many criticized the studio's direction, lamented the loss of faithful storytelling, and flooded social media with suggestions for better casting choices for Reed Richards. Meanwhile, the original cast members moved on to thriving careers, while Pascal's future in the MCU hangs in the balance. This tale is not just about one film's failure. It's a cautionary story about control, ego, and what happens when the magic of storytelling is lost behind the scenes. The rise of Pedro Pascal, Hollywood's golden boy or Hollywood's problem child. Before we dive deeper into the chaos behind Fantastic Four, it's crucial to understand the man at the eye of this storm, Pedro Pascal. Pedro Pascal wasn't always Hollywood's golden boy. Born in Chile and raised in the United States, his journey to superstardom was anything but overnight. For years, he carved out a reputation as a versatile character actor, weaving into roles that demanded nuance, subtlety, and a hint of mystery. But it was his breakout roles that truly catapulted him into the stratosphere of celebrity, from the cunning Oberyn Martell in Game of Thrones to the enigmatic bounty hunter Din Djarin in The Mandalorian. Pascal built a brand synonymous with brooding intensity and charm. Fans quickly latched onto this persona. Social media buzzed with praise. Every appearance was dissected. Every line delivered was quoted. His ability to bring depth to complex characters made him one of Hollywood's most bankable actors. And yet, this adoration came with a twist. Behind the scenes, rumors began to swirl. Pedro's rising star came with an increasing demand for creative control. According to some insiders, his passion for the craft sometimes crossed into the realm of ego. Directors whispered about his tendency to push for rewrites. Stars murmured about moments of tension on set. Yet, fans remained. Many dismissed the whispers as jealousies of others unable to handle Pascal's drive and vision. But what happens when passion crosses the fine line into possession? When does an actor stop being the star and start becoming the problem? But by the late 2020s, signs of fatigue began creeping in. Audiences, critics, and even the studio started questioning the sustainability of the formula. Sequels that once sparked excitement were now met with lukewarm reactions. Box office numbers plateaued. Marvel needed a game changer. Enter the Fantastic Four, the original Marvel family. A franchise with decades of history and an opportunity to reboot the MCU with fresh energy and stakes. Casting was crucial. The choice of Reed Richards, aka Mir Fantastic, was the centerpiece. This character wasn't just a hero. He was the heart of the team, the brilliant mind holding everything together. Pedro Pascal was hand-picked for the role. His charisma and box office appeal made him seem the perfect candidate to lead Marvel's next era. But as the saying goes, heavy lies the crown. While Marvel fans were buzzing with excitement, the production team faced mounting challenges. Insiders reported tension during early rehearsals, not about the usual creative disagreements but about control. Pedro Pascal was said to want a greater say in the script and the film's tone than initially agreed. The story that would later become infamous centers on the final table read, "The final straw," Pascal's biting comment about the film being just another cookie-cutter Marvel flick. Pedro Pascal's domination of every interview frustrated co-stars and journalists alike. His repeated shifts back to his character's deep emotional struggles drained the energy of gross social media. The court of public opinion's social media didn't just amplify the drama. It shaped. Fans dissected every clip, every interaction, every leaked email. Hashtags like #Pedro Pascal fatigue trended worldwide. Memes and reaction videos flooded YouTube and TikTok, blending humor with criticism. Supporters argued that Pascal was a visionary fighting for artistic integrity, while detractors saw a star blinded by ego, willing to sacrifice a beloved franchise for personal gain. Influencers and industry insiders jumped into the conversation, turning the Fantastic Four meltdown into a broader debate about celebrity culture, power dynamics, and respect on set. Marvel's damage control. Behind the scenes, Marvel's PR team worked tirelessly to contain the fallout. Interviews were shortened, and questions were scaled back. Rumors were quietly dismissed as industry rumors or misunderstandings. But the real turning point came with Project Galileo, the secret plan to rebuild without public spectacle, recasting quietly through multiverse angles. And sidelining Pascal without firing him was an unprecedented move, one that risked alienating fans, but was seen as necessary to preserve the franchise's future. What the fans want, a return to roots. At the core of the backlash is a desire for authenticity. Fans crave films that honor the source material, spotlight the team dynamics that made the Fantastic Four iconic, and avoid overshadowing ensemble casts with singular star power. They want stories that entertain, inspire, and respect the legacy of characters like Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Johnny Storm, and Marvel's missteps with this reboot serve as a lesson in listening to the audience and balancing creative visions with fan expectations. Looking forward, what's next for the MCU and Pedro Pascal? The MCU is at a crossroads. How it moves forward with Fantastic Four will signal the studio's ability to learn from mistakes. Dencha. Will Pedro Pascal return in a limited role? Will a fresh cast bring new energy, or will Marvel pivot to entirely new stories? Pascal himself remains silent, fueling speculation about his next moves and place in Hollywood.